For 2 years, nobody touched her. Not because she was sick, not because she was aggressive, not because there was anything obviously wrong with her in the way an intake form might describe, but because the moment anyone reached toward Kennel 14, Smoke would press herself into the far back corner, flatten her ears against her skull, and go completely still, those amber eyes wide open, locked on the incoming hand like it was something she had already survived once before and had absolutely no intention of surviving again. The shelter staff had tried everything they knew how to try. Soft voices, slow movements, treats pushed gently through the wire, left just inside the door so she could make the choice on her own terms and in her own time. One volunteer, a woman named Ruth, who had worked with difficult cats for over a decade, spent 3 full weeks sitting on the floor outside Kennel 14 every single afternoon, not reaching in, not pushing, not asking for a single thing, just existing in that hallway, close enough to be known. Smoke tolerated it the way you tolerate bad weather, something to wait out, not something to engage with. 2 years. 47 people had walked past Kennel 14. 47 people had looked at that flat, serious face, that impossibly thick, silver-tipped storm cloud fur, those unblinking amber eyes, and quietly decided they weren't up for what it would take. Some said she was beautiful, several asked about her history. One man stood outside the kennel for nearly 10 full minutes before shaking his head and walking away. Every single one of them kept walking. The 48th was a woman named Maya. She wasn't even supposed to be in that wing of the building. She'd come in looking for a kitten, something young, she'd told the woman at the front desk. Something uncomplicated, a fresh start. The kind of cat that hadn't yet learned that the people who show up don't always stay. The volunteer was already walking her toward the kitten room when Maya stopped. Smoke was sitting in the center of her kennel, upright, completely composed, staring at the middle distance with the bearing of an animal who had made peace, some considerable time ago, with being looked at and moved past. Her fur was extraordinary, even in the flat shelter lighting, deep charcoal at the roots, pale silver at the tips, thick enough to look like it belonged somewhere other than a county building that smelled like floor cleaner and old carpet. Her face was flat and entirely serious, the kind of face that gave the impression of having strong opinions about things and no particular interest in keeping them to herself. Maya stood there without speaking. Then she did something that nobody in 2 full years had thought to try. She didn't reach in, she didn't make a sound, she didn't ask the volunteer a single question about history or temperament or medical records. She just crouched down slowly until she was exactly at eye level with the kennel door, rested her chin in her hands, and looked. Smoke looked back. 20 seconds passed. 30. The volunteer at the end of the hallway had stopped walking entirely and stood watching from a distance, not interrupting, not entirely sure what she was witnessing. At the 30-second mark, Smoke took 1 step forward. Just one, slow and deliberate, the way you move when nothing has been decided yet, but something has shifted just enough to make the decision feel possible. If you've ever watched an animal who stopped trusting people begin to reconsider, if that's the kind of story that keeps you up at night, this channel is where those stories live. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Maya did not move. Smoke took another step, then another, crossing the kennel floor with the full, quiet gravity of an animal who understood exactly what she was doing, stopped just inside the door, and pressed her side of her face against the wire. Maya stayed completely still. Smoke pressed harder. Maya, moving with the careful slowness of someone who knew speed was entirely the wrong answer, raised one finger and rested it gently against the outside of the wire. Smoke didn't flinch. She didn't pull back. She pushed her face into that single finger and slowly, very carefully, closed her eyes. 2 years, 47 people, 30 seconds of one person staying completely, patiently still. The volunteer at the end of the hallway had to look away. Maya signed the adoption papers that same afternoon. The first week at home was quiet and careful. Smoke explored on her own schedule, methodical and unhurried, the way an animal moves when it's conducting a formal inspection it has every right to take its time with. She claimed the bedroom windowsill by day 2, found the top of the refrigerator by day 4. She ate consistently and well, and spent long stretches of each day observing Maya from across the room with those amber eyes, running some internal calculation that Maya understood she was not supposed to have access to. She didn't ask to be touched. Maya didn't push it. Then came day 9. Maya was sitting on the couch reading when she heard the soft thud of smoke dropping from the windowsill across the room. She didn't look up. Smoke's footsteps crossed the floor slowly. No urgency in any of it. Maya kept her eyes on her page. The couch cushion dipped slightly to her left. She still didn't look. Smoke walked the full length of the cushion, stopped just beside Maya's leg, turned once in a slow, careful circle, and lay down. Not on her lap, not pressed against her, just close. Close enough that Maya could feel the warmth radiating from that thick gray fur without either of them having to acknowledge it out loud. Maya turned one page, then another. Smoke closed her eyes. They stayed like that for well over an hour. Maya read. Smoke slept. The afternoon light moved long and gold across the floor, and somewhere in the middle of all of it, without any ceremony at all, a cat who hadn't let anyone near her in 2 years quietly decided that close enough was close enough. If that image is sitting with you right now, a cat finally choosing trust after 2 years of waiting, you're exactly who this channel is for. Hit subscribe. These stories come out every week. That was 8 months ago. Today, Smoke still has very particular opinions about being picked up, opinions she communicates clearly and does not negotiate. She doesn't perform warmth for visitors, she doesn't offer anything on anyone else's timeline. In many ways, she is exactly the cat she always was in Kennel 14, self-possessed, deliberate, running her own quiet math about everything and everyone around her. But every single evening, without fail, she walks to Maya's side of the couch and lies down just close enough that their warmth reaches each other. And sometimes, when the room is quiet and the light has gone low, she stretches one paw out and rests it against Maya's hand, not asking for anything, not performing anything for anyone, just making sure that she's still there. Some cats don't need a grand gesture or a special technique or an unusual reserve of patience. They just need one person to crouch all the way down, go completely still, and give them long enough to decide that 30 seconds is all it takes to change everything. Would you have stopped at Kennel 14, or would you have kept on walking?